So thanks, Dr. Su. Now we're running in our panel discussion sections. We will have Andrew online and Dr. Su online and Hiroshi, sit together with me. And for the audience here, if you have any questions you may thinking, and you will have the chance to ask questions now. First of all, I want to actually ask one question to all the three speakers. From your opinion, how to describe the relationship between design and entrepreneurship? Maybe Hiroshi, you can first.
Hi. Thank you very much for the great presentation for all the speakers, and I really interested in your what you have been talking. And so the question I had is, so I came up, I have considered the answers about the relationship between the design and entrepreneurship. And I think that design and designers are in the midst of a big shift right now, as I mentioned in my presentation. In the era of global warming, biodiversity crisis, and division of the society, the world has become unstable, so we are hard to see the future clearly. Designers should participate in the creation of the future. Ideally, we all want and use their creativity to accelerate their efforts, rather than taking part in the never-ending chase of desires. The business model of design should also change. Designers can make a business rather than receive a business. In this context, entrepreneurship is a crucial mindset for all who like to be a next generation designers, as I think. And I don't think entrepreneurship should necessarily be associated with startup businesses. Startups are often exposed to the logic of capital. They are expected to grow rapidly. Designers must not lose important things in exchange for growth. They should value their own thoughts, insights, and hopes. And one thing that I would like to tell you, one model for the designers would be in-town designer. In-town designers, that is a play on in-house designer. One of the roles of designers that are attracting attention in Japan. They put down roots in specific regions and create various ecosystems through collaboration with local industries, governments, financial institutions, and citizens. Areas with great in-town designers are definitely revitalizing. An in-town designer may be a good option for those who like to demonstrate entrepreneurship. Interestingly, many national institutions such as the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications, the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, the Japan Tourism Agency, and the Agency for Cultural Affairs are interested in in-town designers now. I think that's how wide the range of activities and influences of in-town designers is, although the economic impact itself may not be that great. Yeah, this is my idea. Thanks.
Thanks, Hiroshi. Intern designer, right?
In-town designer.
Intern. It's more like to describe the catalyst role of the designer, right? In the context, ecosystem, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. I like the way you created new terms, right? Big ship and small ship. Intern designer. Yeah, good. Thanks. Maybe André, can you share your opinion on the relationship between design and entrepreneurship with us?
Sure. Our audio, I don't know if Junsu, you are also experienced, but our audio is very low from the event. So if you could raise a little bit the volume of the panel there will help us better engage with the conversation. I think there are many ways that design and entrepreneurship has been related. Designers tend to have an entrepreneurship mindset with regards to idea generation and problem framing. As I present a little bit in my conversation, designers still lack, they seldom bring the understanding of economic economics and operations into their processes. They predominantly focus on users' experiences and developing fantastic ideas that respond to that. But then when it comes to really dealing with the constraints of organizations and operations, that can be challenging. So I think that there's a good complementary as with the current knowledge, but I think that designers are also evolving into more into venturing to other areas of the organization that can really advance entrepreneurship practice and benefit from as well. More at that system level, I think that when we're dealing with the really trying to promote more systemic change with the big problems that we have today: climate change, wealth concentration, social inequities. I think that there are basically three strategies that complement each other when you're trying to deal with these changes. One is activism, so you really change the systems from within. The other one is leadership, so you try to promote a new path and mobilize existing agents that are already arranged in a certain way to form new connections and shift the systems towards a different path. And the third one is, of course, entrepreneurship. When you have to build new things, you have to build new systems in place to respond to new patterns. I think that one of the questions that I got from the audience was my take on the stress level of people today in trying to balance work and life dynamics. And I think that one of the things is that we've been living 21st century, trying to achieve 21st century ambitions with 21st century, with 20th century systems that were designed with 19th century principles, right? So I think that is one area where design and entrepreneurship can venture together, but that's still very much underexplored.
Yeah, thanks, André. I appreciate what you talk in your lecture, especially to introduce those paradigms and models, help us to describe this system. So today, actually, we're talking entrepreneurship, as we mentioned at the very beginning, is not only about startup. It's about how we're facing the dynamic, complex, and uncertain business world, and also social world, right? So this is the part I think this is exactly our aim. We select our speaker from university and then Hiroshi University and also in the industry. So yeah, thanks for your answer. Now we move to Dr. Su Jun, 苏博士，你可以用
Dr. Xu, how would you describe the relationship between design and entrepreneurship? Dr. Su? I'm sorry, could you please repeat your question? What do you think is the relationship between design and entrepreneurship? The relationship between design and entrepreneurship? I think designers have a lot of competitive edges, especially in product design. Designers know about the customer's experience, and also designers have very broad knowledge background. So all these are the advantages of designers. But then there's one important point here. Designers only provide the possible conditions and possibilities, because for starting businesses, there are a lot of other factors that have to be taken into consideration. Well, it not include only the customer's experience and using of products and so forth. Well, these are provided by the designers, but then only these will not bring entrepreneurship into fruition. So in starting businesses, there are other factors to be considered. In starting businesses, you have to think of whether you could meet the needs of the customers. You have to know what is the gap in between, what are the needs of the customers or the products that are still not available in the market. If you can identify that, you could have high possibility of success.
或者是比较小的问题那么可能你的企业规模就会很小，所以它跟用户价值是强关联。那么看到了这个方向。
So after identifying this gap,
通过自身设计
then through design and through the kind of business maneuvering and operation, you'll be able to meet the needs of the customers.
Because the Doom part. What the Dr. Su mentioned actually, compared with other specialists on designer training as a design knowledge, who can actually understand more about user, observe the opportunities from the research and on user behaviors. This actually also designer can easily establish a holistic view about the thing, compared with other specialists maybe more focused on specific topic. But this is only kind of one of the fundamental elements to thinking about the entrepreneurship. So still designer, if they want to start their own business, they still need to learn more about the business side. So this is designer's education or the training is only just one core of the fundamental elements of the entrepreneurship, but it's not to cover all of them. So they still need to learn more, especially a whole systematical view. Yeah, so.
What I was interested is that, I actually engaged with largely to the social part, but actually I was really, I was really interested that the Junsu is engaging with the product design. Of course, that is including the user experience. But still, there is a dream that designers can engage with making a new world, making the product design. But when I was in Japan, actually the people were so matured, so that they don't have staff anymore. So there is no dream for making things, making stuff in Japan. So what I was very interested here this time is that Hong Kong is the cross point of both the status, both the situations in the country which is growing and which is mature. So I think this is very important to think that there are chances for people to choose in the different direction. So the entrepreneurship, as for the entrepreneurship, there is opportunity for the people in PolyU who are studying here. So I was really, how do you say, really, I think I envy you that, we cannot choose the direction that we lost so like the growing countries having for the design opportunities at the entrepreneurship to be engaged.
That's good. But it's not the questions for Dr. Su, right? Yeah. So we actually have many questions from the online. Before that, I want to ask any questions from the on-site here, the audience? Any questions? Yes, please. Can I help her to pass the microphone? Yeah.
I have a question, to ask for Dr. Su. So can I use a Mandarin or English?
都可以
都可以啊。
either. Yeah.
Okay.
I have one question to ask Dr. Su. First of all, really appreciate your presentation. I believe this is quite good, but you can show the World Factory in China to change it to a product design center, which is really powerful. My question is that in the overall design perception, there is a critical element. You have also mentioned that your team is an excellent team, a young team. My question is, how do you build up this elite team? Thank you very much.
Ask Dr. Su how they establish a very active, right, the team to achieve the success.
High productive team.
A very good question. First of all, with such a long time, China is becoming a very good reserve of the young talents, having a kind of systematic education, a very good literacy in design. We found a lot of the talents, but building up a team, in reality, the core is to have a kind of a sense of achievement. People can recognize that an excellent team starts from very few people, because most of the entrepreneurs in China start from zero. At the very beginning, there isn't any kind of systematic structure. Very often, a very small organization to start with. How to build up a team, the core is to let them to have a fully sense of achievement, including, first of all, there's a very clear target. Anyone engaging a kind of project will be very confused without a clear target. Secondly, to have a continuous engagement. When you are passionate, but after several times of failure, and then you have a very high sense of failure, so you have to lead the game to go for a success. At this time, at this point of engagement, your development and the market you want to go into, or the product's performance, and there is a very good decision. The leadership and the leader is so critical that the leader will have a good vision for the team to have a continuous positive feedback products from the market, and then there will be a very benign encouragement. And then the team is not only that your members will increase their capacity, it will also attract more excellent talents. Even your team will become a very professional place where a lot of people will go. So at this stage, you can have less people to engage much better efforts, because we know that in terms of design or the product R&D, the quantity is not the member, but on the highest levels, whether you can achieve on the, what will be your highest level of achievement, especially on the determination of the design. What I learned that out of 100 products, which is not good with only achieving 85, but with 100 points to 100 to 10 products, we can see from the Apple's experience with a minimum achievement of a few products is much better than a quantitative talents and basic, and the boss or the leader will have a very good determination of the direction, and to let the team knows that they have a clear direction and target to have a continuous kind of experience.
Thanks, Dr. Su. I just quickly briefing what Dr. Su mean. One thing actually is very good today in China, very good education basement. So they actually have enough talents pool to select the good talents to work for them. The second, they need to create the opportunity to to work together with these young talents, create the opportunity for them to achieve success. Otherwise, they even have the chance to keep trying, but keep failing. That's what actually will depress them. So if they can running together as a team and achieve success continually, so those young talents are willing to work together with them and also could be a very high productive. So this will be kind of very positive loop in the company. So then automatically, this team also can attract the good talents outside of the company and keep to join in their team. So they don't prefer a large-scale design team instead of a small one, high efficiency. So they won't actually compare with average level products. If you have 100 average level products, they which actually cannot compete one perfect product on market, the success. So this is some kind of the principle when they hire. Of course, the leadership, the leader. So we know Dr. Xiu always in their Smart Meet, actually their staff call him Teacher Su. So the fresh graduate student working Smart Meet and Xiaomi, they view the company as the second campus. So they just move in another campus when they graduate from the university. So this is maybe some questions you are thinking. This kind of the developing economics, actually they can create some lands as a dream to link with education, students, and also industry. Try something totally new, right? Yeah. Okay, so we actually have one question also for all the three speakers, because I know today many our young students, even this year, our foundation year, the first year students, the first day when they in this actually lecture room, some students ask, can I start up my business during my study? So actually we do. I want three of you give one words or some suggestions for their really very young design students or fresh graduate students from the university who want to start up. Any comments and suggestion? One or two sentences, yeah. Who is starting first? How about André? Can you give your suggestion for the young designers for startup? Yeah.
I think for me, I would say there are two. One is really leverage the time that you have while you're going through the program to explore relevant questions. I think that really identifying what are the right questions is critical today. And the second is to be strategic about the courses that you take in terms of connecting the content they're generating throughout these courses. So the content that you get in one course might be, you might be able to connect informations and learnings and questions that you generate in one course with the other, but also how you strategically navigate the university, PolyU and many other universities throughout the world are really a platform for entrepreneurship, not only with regards to the resources that they have, expertise in mentorship, but also with the network that they have established. So really being strategic about honing that as you go through your journey. I think those are some of the points that I would make. Asking right questions, strategic leverage content across courses, and strategic leveraging the university as a platform for entrepreneurship.
Yeah, sure. We do actually have those kind of platforms in PolyU and also School of Design. Thanks for mentioning that, Andrew. So, 苏俊博士，你可以给我们
So, Dr. Su, would you have some recommendation if they want to set up their own business? I still feel that you have to understand in depth the customer's demand with a kind of a user value as a core to utilize your own literacy and your talent as a kind of your own thing that you are the best. This is for the very important thing to achieve your business.
So how about
Okay.
Hiroshi?
So I heard that there is a fresh student. So I'd like to tell, I don't think that you have to wait for the graduation. So start like now. And I would like to tell you a very practical suggestion for you. I think startups are creative and exciting choice. I hope that you will stick to your own problem awareness and passion and leave a positive impact on the world. In a highly competitive domain, it is easy to be swallowed up by the logic of the capital. So please take care of your own conscience and live a proud life. Startup finance has also matured and diversified here in Hong Kong as well, I think. So please think carefully about how long you want to take and what kind of impact you want to leave behind. And then choose a business model and business partners that are suitable for you. So not just align with the, how do you say, sorry, I can't come up with the word, but so yeah, you have to choose that what you'd like to do, not obey to the startup communities or startup movements. Okay.
Yeah. So, thanks for your comments to our young designer and also future design entrepreneur. So we are closing our panel discussion here. Let's have our a round of applause for our three speakers this morning. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. We do actually got more questions from online, but we don't actually have the time to share in here. So as we say, this forum, we're not actually just one-off, one day. It's just to trigger the discussion. So if you actually want to ask a particular question to Andrew, Dr. Su, and Hiroshi, you can send the email to us. We will forward you your questions to them. So then we actually can play the role as a catalyst through this forum. Yes, so thanks again for this morning section. And our afternoon section will start from 1:30. And then also for the on-site audience, same venue here. And for the online audience, please come back to your online channels the same way. We're starting from the 1:30. Yes. So we end off this morning section here. Thanks for your,
Thank you for your time. Thank you.